Hello, everybody, and welcome to our weekly Thursday night evening webinar. Happy to have everyone here as usual. And for the new people, happy to have you here too and hope you're excited. I'd like to introduce to you the owner of AdHitProfits. His name is Charles Scoville. He is an amazing person. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him before I let him come on and give his awesome webinar introduction and all the info that we need to know. Charles originally is from Colorado and now in Utah, living with his 8-year-old son Taylor as a single dad. As all of us that know him know that already. But to me, that's very important. If anybody lives in the United States or pretty much around the world, it's pretty hard raising a child on your own, whether you're a single mother or a single father, let alone running your own business by yourself is truly an amazing feat. And my hat's off to them because they're both full-time jobs. Your business is a full-time job. Raising your son is a full-time job. We have an amazing opportunity here, everybody, that Charles Scoville is allowing us to be a part of. And as a team, with Charles and all of us, we can make this a very, very successful future for all of us. So at this time, I'm going to be pleased to announce Charles Scoville, you got the floor.
Thank you very much, Ernie, for that introduction, and thank you, all of you, for being on this call or for tuning into the recording on YouTube. What I wanted to do is start out and address kind of the most common questions that people are sending in with the support tickets in case you or anyone on your team has those same questions, because I want to make sure that everyone has the most accurate information. One of the most frequently asked questions is, where do I buy minis, the text ads? To me, in a way, it's very difficult to understand why this is being asked so frequently from people all over the world. Especially when right under the advertisement setup, it has text ads, which is what you're buying, and then it says buy minis here. So with so many people not knowing that's where you go, it's something to me I don't really quite understand. But if you do have that question, that's the answer right there for you, is it is with a red arrow, red words to help stand out for you. Also, it's up here to buy text ad minis up here. The same question is, where do I bump my listing? Of course, it's in listing. You just go straight in here and you can bump it up there. So it's really quite easy to find, and I just wanted to address those two things right there at the very start. And the main reason for the revamping of the menu is because the menu had so many options in there, and it was hard for people wondering, what do I do with this listing? Well, everything to deal with listing is inside of your listing. Everything to do with your text ads is inside of your text ad. Everything to deal with your treasure ad is inside of the treasure ad. The rotate, you get the point. So it just goes down the menu. We've added some additional menus, some referral tools for you, especially since there is this referral contest going on. You'll notice that you can view your referrals, your downline, invite friends, and what's new is you can now see a link to the opportunity webinar. So if you're interested to invite people to learn more, definitely bring them to those webinars. They are very good at helping people recognize what AdHitProfits is all about and helping people get started. Another strategy you might not have thought of is if you go into your referrals, you might see some of them haven't taken any action yet. They haven't gotten involved. They maybe have no intention to until they start to really see what AdHitProfits is. I believe that when people really know what AdHitProfits really is, they'd want to get started. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Because for me personally, I'm using the AdHitProfits advertising services, and I love seeing the signups that I'm getting on all of these different sites. I feel like I'm cheating. I feel like AdHitProfits is my secret weapon to get signups and referrals and leads all over the place. So when people start to see what's really going on here, it makes it a little bit more easy to go ahead and get started, especially when they see how it can benefit them. So that's one of the things that I would recommend utilizing is emailing people that you have. And when you go into your referrals, you can see all their contact information, email address, even phone number. For a lot of these people, maybe that information is false, but you might just call it or invite them and let them know about this so they can start to understand what AdHitProfits is, get started, so that they can enjoy the benefits as well as you can start experiencing those commissions. There's also a link to our YouTube channel. There's a lot of really great information in there. I know that there's a number of people who wonder how to do certain things within AdHitProfits. There's a video made about it, more than likely, on how to get it set up and how to get started. There's also people that ask questions. A lot of times the answer to those questions are also talked about either in one of the webinars or in a video specific about that particular question. AdHitProfits.org is also another great tool to help you refer, because it also contains a list of other websites that you can use to refer people to AdHitProfits. So there's a lot of really great tools. All right, that's a good tip. Let me bring that up open for you in a new window. In case you haven't visited AdHitProfits.org, there's just so much information there. And it doesn't want to come up at this very moment. Let's see if it'll come up if I just do a little reload. Oh, there we go. So you can see that this is last week's webinar, or actually it looks like probably 2 weeks ago. You can watch that. You can watch any videos here. This is a link to our YouTube channel, Facebook group, Skype groups, visual guides. There's just so much more that's all over this place. Definitely take time to utilize all the tools and resources that are here. These are truly here and put together to help you, to benefit you, in helping you make more money, not just with AdHitProfits, but online, period. That's really the goal with AdHitProfits. And I know that that's the goal of Dave for putting this together, is to help all of you make more money online and become more successful as entrepreneurs. I'm going to go ahead and close that down. Another thing that I wanted to address, go ahead.
Yeah, your screen's not showing up, guy. There's no screen.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
All right, so just to show you, then I'm sorry that you guys didn't see the screen share. So this is where you buy the minis. So if you're inside of your member area, you'll see My Minis here off to the left. And you'll see this red arrow pointing here, or up above here, text Add Minis up here, or you can bump your listing by clicking on the listing button up here. Sorry that I showed you those things and it wasn't being displayed. And thank you, Ernie, for chiming in and letting me know about that. So here's all the new referral tools. You can definitely see all that information there. And so since I wasn't showing the screen share, here's AdHitProfits.org. And so you can view a whole bunch of information. Here's the Facebook group. Here's Skype groups. There's videos that goes to our YouTube channel. All kinds of information. There's sometimes people, they've lost access to their account, whether it's hacked or whether they've just not logged in for a while. I mean, you can use this tool here, and it can help you regain access to your account. If you are using the reset password link, and it's not sending you an email to your email, or if you're not receiving it, that is another tool, another resource for you that can help you regain access to your account. It's a really incredible tool that's there for your use. And I really love what Dave has put together here, and he's made it look all fall time for the season that we're experiencing here within the United States or in the Northern Hemisphere. So that's definitely a great resource for you. A couple of other things that I really wanted to touch upon is a couple funny rumors. One is that I am no longer the owner of AdHitProfits. That's a funny rumor. I think that what that's basically doing is trying to get people stirred up out there in the internet. I am definitely still the owner of AdHitProfits. This is my home. Another one is that I'm starting something new, a new program. And the truth of that is I am not. AdHitProfits is my focus. And it's going to be my focus for years and years and years to come. Um, Another thing that I really wanted to talk about is this referral contest. And where we're at with this right now is just about 10 days in. Um, we're starting to see more and more people get active on this contest. I want to just tell you a little bit about this particular person. This is someone who I have come to know. Um, and what I found out about this person is that they live in the Czech Republic. And for him, what he saw was that $3,000 would pay his rent in his flat for a year. And he thought to himself, I got to go for it. And he just did it, you know. And how is he doing this? He's just talking to people that he knows and says, hey, you know what? You want to learn about advertising? You got to just set this up and start for just $10. How easy is that? He got 15 referrals in the last couple of days. How easy is that? There are some people who say they can't refer. This young man is saying, you know what? There's no way I can't refer. There's nothing that's going to stand in my way because that's going to pay my rent for a year. Okay? How do you refer? There are so many resources. Go back to that AdHitProfits.org address. There's lots of different sites. There's some people that have every kind of excuse on why they can't refer, but what people who are successful do is instead of looking for excuses, they look for ways of getting it done. And that's what he did, is he has said, this is what it's going to do for me, and that's how motivated I am. And so he's outside of his comfort zone, talking with people and inviting people just to try out the AdHitProfits advertising services. Now he knows that these will only qualify you, the pay-per-click banner advertising, treasure chest ads, website listing credits, and the forum topics. And so he's just finding out what people need and getting them set up with a campaign and helping them out. And I'm seeing that they're coming from different PayPal accounts. So this is someone who's legitimately getting out there and getting to work. And so I recommend to anyone, and I'm really sorry to this guy, he wants me to end the contest now as it's already that he's the winner right now. But I want to use his story as maybe to provide some, I don't know, motivation for you or inspire you in some way that if he can do it, I believe really anybody can. And if you've been coming to the opportunity webinars or have been looking at our forum, then you know that there are millions of people in this industry who are in need of services like this. I love using our services because I get these signups to these other things. I'm getting commission emails. I'm getting all this thing. I just feel like, wow, you know, this could really benefit so many people. And there are some people involved here that say, I don't have anything to advertise. Well, they might not. You know, if you're on this call or listening to this recording, you might not have something to advertise. But there are millions of people who do. There are over 38 million home-based businesses within the United States alone. So there are people out there who are searching for a service that can get them the leads and the signups that they can get right here on AdHitProfits. So that's my little plug about the contest here. And we're starting to see more people start to get involved here. And I love seeing that because I really want to see someone win this. And it looks like now we've got someone filled out on all 10 positions. I am so excited for the end of the month to see how the rewards pay off for these people in their lives. And I would love to find out from them individually. If you would please, if you're on this call, please leave a testimonial of what that has done for you in your life, how it's been able to help you in any kind of way, any sort of way. Maybe pay an extra bill, make some kind of thing like paying a year in rent, whatever it might be, simple or small, big or little, whatever it is, I would like to hear it. And I'm sure that our members would like to as well. I think we're probably going to be running this contest again next month. So focus on it now and keep going on this, because I think that this is something that I really want to keep doing, especially since it is giving some really incredible rewards to people who really need it and are willing to work for it. Now what I do want to touch on is something also out there floating around is that AdHitProfits is a Ponzi. I just barely put this into our forum just a few minutes before the webinar started. And I really want to touch on this. I know we've talked about this a lot at the very beginning of this opportunity, but we've had a number of people just start, and I know that it becomes a question once again as people are doing anything, any kind of income opportunity. They really want to know that what they're getting involved with is legitimate, that it's legal, that it's compliant with all the laws, rules, and regulations, all of that. And so the question is AdHitProfits a Ponzi? And so what I basically wrote here is that a Ponzi is a fraudulent investment plan that actually doesn't have any true appreciating value, but pay investors their interest earned from new investments. Now, what that means is that there is something on your account that is raising. Now, one example it says is it's a make 2% daily in a HYPE, one of these high yield investment plans. Of course, many people do not recognize that those are Ponzi's. I think that a lot of people that get involved with them really do, and that's why they hit it hard at the very beginning and pull out fast, because they know that if they keep at it, they're just going to lose their money. And unfortunately for their referrals and for the people who get involved later, they just never make any money at all, and the site disappears and is gone. These types of programs, of course, they're illegal. They're Ponzi's. So that's like a 2% interest, and the only way that they are paying that increase to their account holders is by continued referring and recruiting, so they can continually have your interest placed on your account. Another way that this term is used online is any kind of income opportunity that awards you earnings to your account when real money is not backing those earnings. That term has been used within the pay-to-click industry. That has also been used in many different opportunities where people have promoted and they evaluate the pay plan and they look at it and say, wow, by the time I get to that last level, I will not have that much money. The company will not have that money to pay me. It's not backed up by any real sales dollars. So it's important to understand that something that's not a Ponzi is a legitimate opportunity that rewards your individual efforts and or company-wide efforts. I mean, you start to think about, oh, like my job, like an employer, because what they do is they offer you company-wide bonuses, and they give you a wage according to how well you work. That's like any kind of income opportunity, really. If you get involved with it and you plug into that vehicle and you're working at it, then those who put more effort into something will make more than those who put little or no effort into it at all. And so AdHitProfits has no investment plans, nor do we award interest. All earnings are backed up with real cash in the processors. So the conclusion is AdHitProfits is not a Ponzi. Now, another thing that I really wanted to stress is the opportunity webinars. They really are a great referral tool, as I was mentioning earlier. Now, if that opportunity call is at a time that doesn't work for you or your referrals, you can view the opportunity webinar in text in our forum, and the topic is AdHitProfits, how to solve 3 major problems. It gives you an introduction of who I am, a little bit about my history. It talks about the home-based business industry, about the problems that people are facing online today, and within the industry offline as well, helping people recognize that inside of every problem lies an opportunity, and helping you know that if you become a problem solver, then you could really tap in and make some money. And AdHitProfits really is that. It is a problem solver. And just like what I was saying before, is when I am promoting Weeble or Easy Hits for You or Got Safe List or any of these other sites, I'm getting a lot of signups. And some of those signups are upgrading their accounts, and I'm making commissions on that. And I love that. And what I just think to myself is, why don't more people know about this? I tell a lot of people. And of course, there are some people who might be afraid or maybe they're wanting to see how long I remain online before they get started. We've already been online 6 months. I recognize that some people don't get started into something until it's been around at least 1 or 2 years. So I'm not too worried about that kind of a group, but I know that there's a lot of people that today can place ads on AdHitProfits and start getting signups and referrals a lot easier than sending out an ad on a safe list or getting out to any of the other advertising resources that I personally use to build up AdHitProfits. I know that it does take some strategies and techniques, but I just know that AdHitProfits is really delivering some really great results that the industry could really benefit from. What I also wanted to talk about is another question that people are sending into support. And the question is about the queued shares. And so I want to address that. Many who got started when we launched in the first couple of months, many really didn't know how this worked. They really had no idea. They were not really reading the website how it worked. They were doing what they were told to do by their sponsors and by certain leaders throughout the industry, or maybe about something that they saw in a video from someone on YouTube or something. They really didn't know how this worked. They really didn't take the time to read the site. They really didn't time to go through and even test out the services, unfortunately. I know that there's a number of people who purchased the advertising services and still have not used a single credit. And to me, I feel that's sad, especially when many of the professionals that are using the advertising services, even through the directory listing, have seen higher percentage signups than they have seen on many other exchanges, solo ad sites, many different campaign sites that they use, and they have said, wow, Charles, the industry doesn't even know yet what you've got here. But you just keep at it, Charles, because eventually people are going to open their eyes and see what's here. And that's true. And I believe that. And I look at many different other websites that have had a tough beginning. And that's what I look at with this video, A Tale of Two Sites. It's on our YouTube channel. I definitely recommend that you take some time to watch it because it does illustrate that within the first year of a business, or sometimes a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, it can take some time for people to really see what it is that you're doing, the offer that you have on the table, and the benefits that they'll receive by picking it up. And like I said, many didn't know how this worked when we got started and got scared when people called this a Ponzi and spread rumors that it was going to crash soon back in June, okay? And it was made clear where the revenues come from. And I can't stress it enough, but on the How It Works page, it says very clearly where the revenues are truly coming from. And I love this because all of these services are not only in high demand within this industry, but the services that are being offered on AdHitProfits are delivering higher in the test that I have given versus many different advertising resources throughout the industry. So knowing that those other websites have been online for years and years, and I've tested out AdHitProfits services even versus not PayPal, but versus Facebook. I've been on Facebook and have placed some campaigns to build up AdHitProfits using a different page because it doesn't allow AdHitProfits, but it has not yielded one single sign-up, period. It just hasn't. I have not seen one single person come from Facebook through that pay-per-click banner advertising campaign that I had on there come through and sign up on AdHitProfits, but I've had so many people sign up to other things that I put on AdHitProfits. And there's been others who have tested both advertising resources and have found that AdHitProfits drives home with results way more than any of their personal advertising resources. So I just know that through time it's going to build up as the industry starts to become more clear on what is really here. And that's really what this referral contest is about, is helping people know. But like I said, back in June, people were thinking that this was a Ponzi, like these other types of hypes that people got involved in that crashed. And they started to panic and they moved on to something else. And we call that group a hit and run group. They just hit programs and then they run soon after it launches. Now, it was made very clear where revenues came from and where everything is. There are some people who are thinking that I'm changing the way the program works. From the very beginning, it's worked exactly the same, except just a couple of changes, and I'm going to be going over those here in just a second. But from the very beginning, I have said this is not an investment opportunity. And knowing where the revenues come from makes sense why I'm stepping up the selling of ad services, and why the website, when you first land on it, talks more about the advertising services than the kind of money that people can make through other aspects of the business. Because I want more and more people in this industry to recognize what they can get here and the experiences that people are really having when they purchase campaigns. Now, during some of our live presentations with many different leaders, some would ask whether this was some kind of an investment opportunity, and I would always say directly to that question, if you're looking for that sort of investment opportunity, this isn't going to be a good match for you. This is not an investment. This is a revenue share, and we do sell high-quality advertising services. So it was always made clear from the very start that once a purchase comes into the system, it's not a deposit, it's a purchase of service. And the revenues from that purchase are shared with everyone. I can't be more clear on that. So when people are talking about the shares in queue, I want to now get and address that a lot more. But what I really want to do is kind of give a little bit more background to addressing that. So if it sounds like to me or to you that I'm kind of beating around the bush, I am really answering that question. It's just taking a little bit of time to get there. So just bear with me a little bit longer through that. But just keep in mind there was a lot of people who came in with the wrong information on how this works and how a lot of them got in and got out. And I know that many of you know from your firsthand experiences that your own sponsors maybe have decided to stop promoting AdHitProfits and moved on to something else. And this is the case with many leaders who got in. They got their commissions. They told a lot of people to buy big because of how this works and how long I'm going to be online, how trusted I am, and all these things. They sold me, they sold the opportunity, and they got people to put in a lot of money. Like I said, put in instead of making purchases for deposits, but they were using these terms like it was some sort of an investment. And they gave people projections on when they could expect their money to come back. And so they placed that expectations on AdHitProfits and myself, although throughout every single webinar I ever did, even from the very beginning, every recorded webinar, even in the frequently asked questions, the question was always raised from the very first day, how long will it take for my revenue shares to fill up? And it was always said that will fluctuate. It's based upon sales of service, and please look at your purchase as a purchase of service that is of high value and quality. Now, I'm not going to play the blame game, but the truth is the reduction in revenues came mainly because what was being shared with people came simply because people were trying to push other things and get their referrals out of AdHitProfits and into something else. Another truth is, although the reduction of purchases have occurred, all revenues are still being shared, and everyone reaching $10 in their balance or greater is still being paid instantly with Solid Trust Pay, and within just a couple of hours, sometimes within minutes, with EgoPay, Easy Bonds, or PayPal. So the site works exactly the same, except now we have shares in queue because people bought big and stopped buying, and the big referring sponsors stopped working on this business. So amid all of the attacks, struggles, fraudsters, and even attacks from our own members causing destruction upon AdHitProfits, I stand up and keep moving forward. Every single program online that copied AdHitProfits is no longer online. People, I hope, will soon recognize that. That there's so many different copycats and so many different programs that all of these different leaders keep pushing and shoving people into, yet AdHitProfits remains and has never had a problem paying out anything that's on anyone's accounts. Programs people came from before AdHitProfits, they have stopped paying. Many programs that people have left to after AdHitProfits, they have also stopped paying. So AdHitProfits, we have never had any problem paying out, period. Now the only real change since the very beginning is how members themselves are treating the program. That's the change. And what I have had to do is make some changes to counterbalance the overall treatment coming from our own members. So that's really what the Q'd shares are all about, is making a change to benefit everybody so that everyone receives more of the revenue that's coming in, instead of having it all just sucked up by people who were treating this like an investment opportunity and bought way too many shares and making everyone else in the entire company complain about that. And so we did introduce the mini shares as well shortly after setting up the Q, and set some limits there as well, so that we didn't hopefully bump into that same kind of an atmosphere and attitude that contributed to the slowdown before, of everyone getting afraid and disappearing. Now again, I really want to invite you to watch this video, The Tale of Two Sites. And the main reason why I made that video is to help you all see that this is just the beginning of AdHitProfits. It's only 6 months in. Only 6 months in. And, you know, with looking at Facebook even, you know, as big as they are now, their first 2 years in revenue, I can't even find that online. So knowing that we're just 6 months old, we are absolutely very young. Now, as you can see, so far, not many people have watched this video, but that doesn't really matter, mainly because I see where this can go because of how this works and because of how great the advertising services really are. Now, some thought that we were going to be done in June. We are far from over. This is the beginning of a business, not the end. Just reaching our 6-month mark, this is very young. Now, just to warn you, the sound quality on that video of me speaking is a bit rough because I didn't test the mic before recording, but the message shows that beginnings can be rough, but that's what we do. We move forward, and that just makes all the difference. Some companies don't pick up and move forward and keep going. They close up. I believe in what I'm doing and the direction. While people point the trajectory of the business downward, I point upward. Now, there are some people who are saying, you know what, I'm pointing downward, I would like a refund. I can't offer refunds. When people make a purchase, some people believe that their money is sitting somewhere appreciating in value. Now, as you already have known from this address about being a Ponzi, this is not an investment, so your money isn't coming in and appreciating value, okay? This imagined idea is false, okay? Money is not coming in and appreciating or in value or anything like that. When people spend money, the money goes to all the account balances within the system. Everyone who clicked their 24 or 25 ads in the last 24 hours receives a portion of your purchase. And then people then withdraw the balances, or they use the balance to make purchases within the system. And when they do that, the money is then sent out to all the other balances within the system. So there's not really a way for me to give anyone any kind of refund. I mean, people, they can decide what they do with their balances, of course, and the amount that people receive has a maximum per share, I should say, and is determined whether they are clicking their ads every 24 hours. So as long as you keep clicking your ads, then you'll continually receive a portion of the revenues to your revenue shares. Now, I believe that this period that we're in right now is a test on our business. There are people who have said, we see that this is a trial of your business. You know, there are some people who are just barely testing out the advertising services on AdHitProfits, and they're saying, wow, you know, they really are. sometimes what people might see right now is that there's not very many banners on the sides. That's because these banner clicks are being used up so fast. And so we just need to bring more and more people to buy these banners because the clicks go through and people are seeing results. And so what you'll probably see, probably around 10 or 11 o'clock tonight, is a new rush of people buying these banners. Ernie, is there something you wanted to say?
That? Yeah, could you refresh that page, please?
There you go. So there's a lot of people out there who are enjoying the advertising services and getting signups and getting benefits from the services. So I really believe in our services, and I hope that you do take the time to watch the video that I was mentioning earlier, because I see businesses that have been online now for years booming today, but their first year or two were very difficult. We had a fast boom and people left. Now is the time for natural progression to exist. And I believe that natural progression will exist because of the quality of the services being offered. There's been many things reminding me of regular progression of all businesses. And if you look back on how things were in July, we're starting to see some real positive things since then. But these are things that could maybe just be glimmers of hope, I don't know. But I do see that many different sites within their first year, as mentioned in this video, they become more. And people start to recognize through the industry what they really are, around 1.5 years to 2 years being old. So with being just 6 months old, I see a bright future ahead because of how really good the services really are. Now I know that one of these sites that I mentioned in this video, they made a change that people didn't understand. And it took about a year for people to accept that change and come back. I was also able to recognize that, you know, like I said before about Facebook, as big as that they are today, it took a couple years. It took years for them to build up to what they are at today. So believe in the future. Believe in what we're doing. Test out the services. You can see for yourself how great they are. Set up a lead capture page. Set up some advertising. See for yourself, because I believe that once when you experience the excitement, the thrill, I don't even know how to describe it, but when I get these emails, once when I set up a banner campaign on AdHitProfits, and I start to see, you know, 21, 25 different emails saying you got a new referral to this other website, then it's just like, wow, you know, I just get so excited because these banners, they're not branded to me. So people who are clicking and signing up, they don't think that they're signing up under Charles Scoville or something like that. They just are clicking and signing up under somebody. They don't even see who I am on these that I'm referring. Okay, so anybody can be doing this. Anybody. Okay, so that's where I just kind of look at. And again, as I've been saying, as part of our mission and vision of AdHitProfits, is that Facebook, within their first 2 years online, I can't find anywhere online that shows what their revenues are for 2 years. Now, their third year, that's when things started to happen for Facebook. And so what I look at as well is if you're inside of the forum and you go to, let's see, I think it was the 3 things that we, yes, here we go. On this particular picture, it says that 70% of home-based businesses succeed within 3 years. So looking at Facebook, they started to see their success their third year being online. AdHitProfits being online just 6 months, we're already seeing a lot of successful things going on, but we can see a lot more, even better things as years and years progress forward and more people know about the services being offered here. So I respect people's concerns that have paid a lot and expecting to receive a lot back fast because of what they were told. Truthfully, I would feel the same. But one bit of confidence that I would want to just share with you, and hopefully this resounds within your minds and your hearts, as you may ever have that concern, is that a lot of sites that people are running to have gone offline. AdHitProfits is online. Many other programs are no longer paying. AdHitProfits is paying. Now, about the services, although people have dropped in the revenue share purchases and things like that, we are seeing a steady increase of pay-per-click banner advertising purchases among real buyers. And I've been watching these pros get started, but they're in the mode of keeping their secrets to themselves, you see, because they don't want their competitors to know where they're outbeating them. They don't want anyone to know how they are building their lists so fast. They don't want people to know these things. So each of us who's involved with AdHitProfits, if you're not advertising AdHitProfits or using the advertising services on AdHitProfits, I definitely would recommend that you start yelling it from the rooftops, really. Let people know about these services, because the advertisers, a large portion of them, don't want anyone else to know. They want to scoop up all the referrals to themselves. So the more that people know about the services, the better, and will help you more and more. So I just know it is just a matter of doing that more and more. It really is getting out there and sharing these services. One day, we're going to look back on these times, and we're going to talk about how hard things were in the early days after the hit and runners left. Now, looking back from that point in time back to now, what might we say to ourselves? I believe what we would probably be saying to ourselves is, keep going. Don't give up. You'll make it. It sucks, but don't let that bother you. You're going to see better things. You're going to see it get better and better. Keep working towards it. You're going to make it. Now, just like what it says on this opportunity webinar, is that every home business owner wants two things more than anything else: more leads and more cash. Many of our members truly don't recognize how truly powerful our advertising services are compared to other services that are out there, and how much easier it is for people to get referrals and cash to their businesses. If you knew how exciting this is, you'd be doing things like I am. I am not one who enjoys bragging, but I want to tell you, and I want you to know, of what kind of money is truly available if you give some effort to this, okay? If you really try. I've personally earned from personal commissions in the last 24 hours over $1,000. I want that to sit there for just a minute. Over $1,000 in the last 24 hours just in referral sales. Now, some people, there was somebody on the opportunity webinar earlier that asked me how to refer. And one strategy that I personally use is I pick a website and I start referring to that website using AdHitProfits service. And when I start seeing my signups increase on that website, I make contact with the admin and I ask them if they'd be interested in knowing where I'm getting my referrals. And of course, who wouldn't want to know, right? Then that's when I recommend AdHitProfits service. And that's where I've gotten some admins and owners of other websites to get started with AdHitProfits. Now, sometimes they start with just $10. Maybe they start for $25. Some of them ask me, how much money did you spend on your campaign? I want to double that because I need to double my results. Think about that. If you're out there really giving this some effort, you could really be making much more money on AdHitProfits without really a whole lot of extra time put into it. How long did it take me to send an email to contact support on another website? Almost nothing. How much time did it take me to set up a campaign on AdHitProfits? Almost nothing. How much money did I spend on a campaign to AdHitProfits? You could start for just $10, maybe increase it. If you're not seeing the results that you can brag about, increase it. Or maybe you can say, you know what, maybe their website just isn't worth trying. Let's try another one. Because there have been a couple websites that my referral base, yes, I was reaching very hard and I was referring maybe 10 or 20 different people, but I wasn't the top promoter on their site. So I said, you know what, I'm going to let that simmer a little bit. I'm going to go after some of these other sites that I won their referral contest last week. those types. Okay, so that's the thing that I really want to just set in mind to you, that if you're looking to really make some money, that's a strategy. So in the last 24 hours, I made $1,000 commissions, and there are people who say that you can't refer, or maybe that you can't refer to something like this. Now, if you're saying that you can't refer to something like this, I truly believe you don't really know what this is, nor the needs of everyone in this industry. It's like saying you can't sell water in the desert. Our prices are affordable and the results are strong. So let's tell everyone what's here, so you can experience the commissions you want to make. And truly, I want to help you see that. I want to help you see what you can make here, and I want it to be done. I want you to be able to experience that. And it's really only done through telling people about what's here. Now check this out. If 35,000 of our members simply sold $2,000 in advertising per month, that would be over $70 million in revenues per month. And we would be sharing all of that. Of course, 7 million would be paid out in commissions, and 63 million shared. There would be no shares in Q. So anyone who's got a concern about shares being in Q, let's get out there. Let's invite people in. Let's invite everyone in this industry to use these services. I've been using them to get results, okay? And I get such a great feeling as I get signups and commission emails from all these different sites. They come into my inbox, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I just scratch my head, and I sometimes wonder, why don't more people know about this? I mean, I'm out there talking about this all the time. If our members were talking about it, I believe we would see a lot more things happen faster. So if you want to earn more here, you can. And if you earn it, you get paid. And that's the great thing about AdHitProfits, the peace of mind knowing that your cash out request will actually get paid out very fast. No more waiting. And for a lot of people, not waiting for a withdrawal makes all the difference in today's industry. What I want to do now is open up and see what questions we have, and then I'll turn the mic back to Ernie to close out the call. Let's see what questions we have. All right, so the first question is, I sent a support ticket letting you know that my URL address is blocked from letting me bring up your website. I had my internet service provider check, and there is nothing wrong. What I would definitely suggest then, Ronald, is contact our support with your IP address. That way we can make sure that you can access AdHitProfits from your IP. Every now and then our server will block certain IPs, and mainly it's done because of DOS attacks, and that's what our server has built in, is to shield us from various different attacks that various people might do against our website. And so those particular IPs might just be blocked or shielded. So if your IP is not allowing you to come up with our website, please make sure to include your IP address, and then we can get that unblocked if that's in case the issue. We'll definitely look into that. The next question says, need to know how much you spent on advertising to get your results. Keep seeing the great results, but don't know how much you would have spent. I'm not sure exactly if you're asking about advertising elsewhere or from AdHitProfits to get referrals elsewhere. Let me see. When I buy a campaign on AdHitProfits, it's usually a pretty large one, and it lasts for a very long time. But I usually start seeing results within minutes. So how many clicks do you need to purchase? Probably not very many. There was one member in our Skype groups. He was promoting a program that I'm very familiar with. It's been around for, I believe, a couple of years. And he said that he did not use any lead capture page. He didn't do any personal branding. He sent someone to his company replicated website, and he got one sign up by sending 500 clicks, 500 visitors through the pay-per-click. And he wasn't expecting any because he was just not even, it was a very, very old program. It wasn't something that people could get involved with for free. on the very front of it, it says this is not free. And so pretty much right there at the beginning, before you even enter your information, you're pretty much given the how-to and that it's going to cost you some money out of pocket. And sometimes with that kind of an approach, you're not going to see a lot of signups. But I will tell you that he got one sign-up from his 500-click campaign. There are other people that are seeing a lot faster results. Maybe they've spent just $10 on their campaign and they've seen 3 or 4 different signups. It really depends on what it is that you're promoting, what the benefits are for signing up and getting started, and how effectively that page that people land on communicates what those benefits are and whether those benefits are a match for the people that are coming to your website. Now, the best way to match that up is have an applicable banner so that when people click on the banner, they already kind of know what to expect when they reach your website. Maybe there's a banner that just has a little bug flipping around on it. No one knows what that is, but it does get the clicks because people want to know what's on the other side of that bug, but when they click on it, maybe it's not what they really want to see. You know what I mean? So if you have a banner that clearly identifies what the benefits will be, that helps target your clicker before they even click on the ad. And I believe that that helps increase the results from when people click to when people arrive on your sales page or your sign-up page to get them to move into that next step of your lead funnel, your sales funnel. All right, let's see here. Someone was, I don't know if you were joking, but you said you are cheating because I was referring to all these different websites. And still am. And I'll tell you that with some of my campaigns, I might just spend $20 on a couple of these just as I'm testing it out, and I still get a load of different signups to like a pay-to-click website or something like that. All right, so the next question is, hi Charles, sorry Mark, I guess that was your name. Hi Charles, it's great to see that you and AdHitProfits are still providing a transparent opportunity for online business marketers to get on board with. You're sustaining the high standards of service which you started when AdHitProfits launched, and you're always looking to add value, which is essential to make a business successful these days. Thank you, Mark. He continues to say, once people realize the tools and the exposure to target visitors that is available, plus the 100% profit share and 10% referral commissions, more in this industry will realize what an excellent opportunity AdHitProfits is, onwards and upwards. Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate that. The next question says, is there a chance that you can perhaps introduce at some point in time a pay-per-click advertising service for online retailers as well? The truth of the matter is there's no limit being placed on these banner ads. Anyone can really advertise any. I know that there are some who are advertising maybe a different product or service. Someone was even advertising their eBay store. So I know that advertising is something that every business needs, and there's real people coming to our website. And as long as you target your clicker based upon the message that's on the banner, then I believe that pretty much anything should work well there, and you can target per country. So if you do want to test out some real retail advertising, that can certainly work. At least give it a try and see if it works. I haven't had any success doing that myself, but of course I'm not the most expert at internet marketing. There are some people who are probably way better and might be able to find a way to sell anything to anybody. For me, I focus more on targets, and for this type of a thing, for me personally, because the people that are already on this website, I would probably only target things that are income related or helping people build up their business, get more leads, those types of things, mainly because that's what the mindset of the people are mainly here. But there is no restriction at all that anyone can really advertise anything on here except for nothing that's illegal or adult, pornographic, that kind of a thing. We don't accept those types of ads. All right, so the next question says, hi Charles, wouldn't be appealing for those new guys that land on AdHitProfits referral page to show the number of active users? Um, Personally, I don't know if that would really work. I know that we had on the front page the number of visitors that we were getting per day. When it comes to advertising, that's really what we want to do, is attract people who want to advertise. Just seeing how many people are involved here is kind of the bandwagon approach. I've not really been that kind of a person, because for me, I want people to buy the service because of the value of the service alone, not based upon how many people are here. But who knows, maybe in time I'll want to publish how many people are actually here and how many people are online at each given time, so you know how many people you're surfing with. I think that one day I would want to do that, but I want people to really experience the service for what they're for, to help them get more leads and more cash for their business. And as long as they're using the service the way that that it's intended, they'll experience it that way. I think that seeing numbers of people and how much is paid out can cause some fear. And I think that has also caused some of the fear of what happened in June. Because I used to talk about those numbers, and people used to say, well, it couldn't last that long forever, with that. And that's where all these questions of sustainability come in. And it's like, yes, it's sustained by real purchases. The revenue first comes in, then it's shared with people. So I don't know if talking about numbers of people that are here and active surfers and all that kind of a thing is really going to help sell the service for how it's intended. The next question says, from your example of using AdHitProfits to promote an opportunity website, then going back to contact the admin of that certain website, which types of opportunity websites would you recommend we target? Really, any. See if it works. For me personally, I'm looking at the ones that have been online for a bit of time, so that because they have a more recognized presence on the internet. So if they recommend something, then their recommendation holds more value than something that's only been online probably a couple of months. So that's what I would recommend, is look for the safe list, the traffic exchanges, anything that can help people build up their businesses. That's just my recommendation, because that's what I'm doing. More people doing that, bugging these admins to get started here. It would be incredible to find out that some of our members have landed some of these admins. I know that one of our members has already gotten a couple of traffic exchange admins signed up. So I feel that that's very impressive. Even one of these admins is an admin of another pay-to-click website, has been online a number of years, and they got a sign up out of them. In fact, another member got an admin of another multi-level marketing company that's been online for a number of years. And I'm just blown away by that kind of thing. So knowing that these types of things are really going on, people are making good commissions here. I really believe, that anybody, if they really put their mind to it, could find a way to make a lot of money here. That's just the way I'm putting it. All right, so the next question is, concerning the contest, must the new referral buy a $45 ad share account, or does the $10 ad share count? The answer there is neither one of them count towards the contest at all. What counts towards that contest is going to be the purchase of the pay-per-click banner advertising, the treasure chest ads, website listing credits. So not the actual website listing, but just the credits that someone might purchase if they sign up new, and they've purchased a directory listing, and then they add credits to it. That counts, because these are real people that are really trying to advertise here, and they're probably more likely to be looking at the success and the results of their service. And then there's the forum topics as well. So those 4 services, if people are purchasing those that are referred to AdHitProfits between September 30th through October 31st, that's what qualifies you for the contest. Oh, thanks, Ronald, for that IP address. I'm going to turn off the screen share real quick as I copy it down. I don't want that to be known to anybody. Oh, that's true. If you don't have access to the site, how do you Send a support ticket. Good point. I'm glad that you sent that here. I got that copy that over now, and after this call, I will check with my host and make sure that we get that unblocked for you. The next question says, does it make more sense to pay for ad services to other traffic exchange sites to promote AdHitProfits, or use AdHitProfits advertising services to promote those other traffic exchange to get signups? Well, I would always recommend to do a combination of both. But if you are focused on doing just one or the other, my biggest recommendation is to advertise that traffic exchange on AdHitProfits. And the main reason I would say that is when you do that, you will get a lot of extra bonus credits on that exchange. And then you can then use those credits because you're getting signups and those referrals, and you're earning those additional bonus credits because of those referrals. You can then plug those credits into your campaign. So you see what I'm saying? If you're going to focus on one to start with, focus on referring to that traffic exchange using the AdHitProfit services, because it'll help you use that traffic exchange to promote AdHitProfits or anything else really. But that'll definitely help you then, if you decide, make that contact to that admin of that website and let them know of what it is that you're doing, and recommend that they sign up, and sign up from your referral link, of course. Give that to them when they're interested, and then you get the commissions. That's what it's about. We want you to be making more money online. And the next question is, in your opinion, what are some of the more profitable programs to promote via AdHitProfits? You know, it's really difficult to say. There's a lot of different programs out there. The best profitable thing to promote, and this is honest to goodness, is yourself. Set up a website and integrate a lead capture aspect to it where you are talking about who you are and the kind of value that you can offer. Maybe it's training, support, information, something that gives people a reason to sign up and get it from you. Start a website for yourself and get signups for yourself so that you're building a list up for life. That way, you don't have to always rely upon spending money on advertising services. You now have a group of people who know you, like you, and trust you, that you can then share with them hints, tips, tools, and resources that they can use to build up their businesses. And of course, that's when you recommend people to use those traffic exchanges, and then you get those additional credits on those traffic exchanges. You recommend people to use AdHitProfits, and that's when you get all those additional referral commissions, and you make additional profits. And if you do have a primary business that you get involved with, then these people already know you, they like you, they trust you. When you recommend something that you've gotten involved in, they're more likely to follow you into whatever it is that you get started. So the most profitable thing to promote is going to be you. The next question says, thanks for your first response, Charles. So just to make sure I am understanding what you're saying, if a new referral just buys $10 worth of pay-per-click banner ads, will they count towards winning the contest? Absolutely, absolutely. So right now, for example, with 15 referrals, if you found 16 people to spend $10 on AdHitProfits advertising service, you would be the winner of $3,000, and this young man would be mad at me for telling you that. No, he'd probably up his game from the way that he is talking. He's very determined, so if anyone wants to win this, you're going to have to beat him because he is going for it. And the next question says, in the contest, if one member purchases 3 different times, is that 3 different referrals? No, that would just be one referral. Each referral must have a unique email processor and a unique IP address. So that's the way to qualify. All right, well, it looks like we're to the end of our questions. I'm at this time going, to turn the time back over to Ernie to close out the call.
Hey, thank you very much, Charles. Could you put that back just so I can see the referral tools, if you don't mind? I'd appreciate that. Perfect. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you very much, Charles. That was another amazing webinar as usual. Everyone is very informative and very helpful, I hope, to everybody as it is for me. A couple things I want to say is one, Mark Kelly, thank you for being here and all your comments that you make. And you're always here, even though you know a lot about AdHitProfits, you continue to be here and support us along with everybody else. I just wanted to thank you for that. The other thing I just want to point out a little bit as far as having the amount of members on the website, just to give you an idea what is much more important, whether we have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, or even 50,000 members, and we showed that on the website. What is actually much more important than that, because this is about advertising, and the more people that come to the website is got to be more exposure for the people advertising, is the amount of people that actually view the site every day, which is well over 200,000 people a day. That's much more impressive. That's much more important to the members, how many people actually look at the website that see our advertising. The other thing I want to say is use the tools that we have. Charles has indeed made this a complete one-stop shop now. I don't even have to tell you to go to .org because it's under referral tools. I'm very excited about this. If you look under the referral tools, you see my referrals, which also Carolyn on Wednesdays assists Charles, and she goes through the site very, very well. You might want to come on Wednesdays also to see that. I was very impressed with last Wednesday. But anyway, you see my referrals. You can click on that. It shows all your referrals. You can email each one of them straight from that page. To the right of those referrals is a little like envelope. You just click on it and you can send an email to every one of your referrals, especially the ones that aren't active. Okay, which I know I got a bunch of them, so I got some work to do. You've got your YouTube channel, which has got all kinds of how-to videos, all the recorded webinars, everything you need there, okay? Now, as far as advertising, yes, I advertise on AdHitProfits, obviously a lot. You got AdHitProfits.org. You go there, there's a button that tells you advertising sites. There's a multitude of sites right here that you can advertise, the majority of them being free. You don't have to spend anything to advertise AdHitProfits. Free. What's this benefit you? Referral commissions. Now I can't top this, but it's amazing. Charles, $1,000 in 24 hours on referral commissions has nothing to do with ad packs or shares. Nothing. Has to do with the referrals that are advertising. That's residual. You ask, how much does it cost to advertise? Well, I can't top what he did, but just say I spent $500 advertising. I signed up 2 people yesterday, and this is advertising I did about 3 weeks ago. But after I get their information, when they fill out the information on the capture page, I email them back. Thank you for looking at my website. Thank you for your interest. Yesterday I signed 2 people up. Today I signed 1 up. That was $300 I just made in commissions that they signed up under me. But that's not where it ends. We're talking residual every month off each one of them. Combined, I'll make $75 minimum a month off each one of them. So the initial cost of advertising does not matter, because what you're going to make in the end will be much, much more. And that all comes from advertising on AdHitProfits. It's an amazing tool. Yes, there's all these sites here to advertise AdHitProfits. If you don't have anything else to advertise, that's fine. If you do have other things other than AdHitProfits, definitely your best spot is AdHitProfits. There's hands down. Okay, I'm just saying, if you don't have anything else and you want to advertise AdHitProfits for the contest, for instance, here you go. You got all these different places. Get to work. Go to every single one of them places. Place the ad for AdHitProfits. You want to win that contest? You got some work to do by all these different sites that you can place an ad for AdHitProfits for free. Okay, so use your tools. I'm excited for the gentleman that gave the testimonial about what $3,000 would do for him. I'm sure it would help a lot of people. There's no question. But I just think that's really cool. What has motivated him? Yeah, money motivates him, but it's not just the money. It's what it can do for him. Pay his rent for a year. That's motivation. Okay, that motivated me. So, with that being said, I hope everybody's excited about AdHitProfits. Go out and get your referrals, and not only try and win the contest, but it's not just that. It doesn't end there, because as long as they keep advertising, you keep making commissions. Boom. Believe me, you start doing that. I maybe I shouldn't say it this way, but you won't be so concentrate on shares and ad packs no more, because you're going to be seeing them commissions coming in from the advertising, from your referrals. You're going to be like, huh, I'm going to go out and do this some more. So let's go out, help AdHitProfits, help ourselves by helping AdHitProfits. Everybody have a great night, and thank you for being here.